In a shocking majority vote, new pro-crypto legislation has just passed in the House of Representatives. This is historic legislation. It's called FIT21 Act.
Today, the House set to vote for the very first time on comprehensive crypto legislation called the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, or as it's known for short, FIT21.
It aims to simplify crypto regulation in the US. It does this by clarifying regulatory responsibilities, essentially allowing the CFTC to take control of regulation over the SEC.
This legislation, which House Financial Services Chair Patrick McHenry has been pushing for the better part of a year, would establish the Commodities Future and Trading Commission as the leading regulator of digital assets. There would be clear divisions for what the CFTC will regulate and what would fall under the purview of the Securities and Exchange Commission, which has vehemently cracked down on the crypto industry with a litany of enforcement actions.
And how this affects you under the proposed legislation, the CFTC would regulate digital assets if the associated blockchain or digital ledger is both functional and decentralized. On the other hand, the SEC would oversee assets as securities if the blockchain is functional but not decentralized. And that's fair. If a blockchain is decentralized, it should be a commodity, like Bitcoin. Decentralization, according to the bill, means no single entity controls more than 20% of the digital asset or its voting power.
This legislation would also establish consumer protections and bar the sort of commingling of customer funds that played a role in the undoing of the crypto exchange FTX.
Now, Gary Gensler is not happy about this. He wants to retain power.
In a rare rebuke, SEC Chair Gary Gensler put out a lengthy statement this morning on the legislation saying, quote, it would create new regulatory gaps and undermine decades of precedent regarding the oversight of investment contracts, putting investors and capital markets at immeasurable risk.
Yet President Biden, who appointed Gary Gensler years ago, just in. President Biden will not veto FIT21 crypto bill if passed today. And in this direct statement, even though the administration, the White House, does state they're opposed to the passage of the bill, which would affect the regulatory structure for digital assets in the United States, they would not veto. The administration looks forward to continued collaboration with Congress on developing legislation for digital assets that includes adequate guardrails for consumers and investors while creating the conditions needed for innovation, and further time will be needed for such collaboration. So actually that was a little ambiguous. He is obviously opposed, but typically you would come out and say, hey, this is important to me, I'd veto it. President Biden does not threaten veto against House crypto bill, and now that this passed in the House, it goes to the Senate. If passed by the Senate, then it moves into law.
We have an opportunity to determine whether the next iteration of the internet will be designed by Americans or if it will instead reflect the values of some other nation.
And if we've learned anything, is that Gary Gensler, SEC chair, is not really in charge. He's there to do Biden's bidding.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of any other cryptocurrency outside of Bitcoin, but I think there is a hilarious story as to why this is happening. I mean, I was laughing out loud. It looks like someone went to Gary Gensler and said, hey, buddy, you're not in charge anymore. And you'd have to think why that was. It's because banks and Wall Street are making money.
And in an update from yesterday's video, the real reason cryptocurrency is going up, it's happening. We have at least 5 of the potential Ethereum ETF issuers that have submitted their amended 19B4s in the last 25 minutes. An SEC-approved Ethereum ETF is coming.
And you'd have to think why that was. It's because banks and Wall Street are making money, right? Banks get a really bad deal in today's market is they have to buy bonds that are performing awfully. And all of a sudden, they get a free market in this independent crypto thing, and they're actually making money. These markets have life. These markets go up. When governments debase their currency, these things perform well. and they got a taste of Bitcoin, and it was the best performing product that they've ever had. And they're like, oh man, how many other pieces of crap are there out there that we can list as ETFs? And I literally think that's what's happening. It's a way better business to launch crypto ETFs than it is to buy bonds right now, based on the macro environment. So I think someone said, hey, Gary, sorry, buddy, despite you thinking that these things are securities, we need to make money. And that's what happened.
So obviously Jack Mallers is a Bitcoin maximalist, meaning he's always going to trash anything that's not Bitcoin. But I loved how these Bloomberg news anchors finally pushed back.
Jack, let's go back to basics here. There will be members of the Bloomberg Technology audience that push back on, I'm paraphrasing, a spot ETH ETF being the next listing of a piece of crap. There's a standard tagline in our Bloomberg coverage, which is that Ether is the native token of Ethereum, and Ethereum is the most widely commercially used blockchain. What would be your response to that standard line?
Sure. Okay. And I apologize to all those I offended. Here's my point. Bitcoin is the only money within the cryptocurrency space. It's designed and treated as a monetary asset. So then what do I think Ethereum is? I think Ethereum is a technology, which you actually just displayed in your introduction and definition of it. Ethereum appeals to developers. They change the monetary policy and the rules all of the time. However, the market often conflates it as a money, conflates it as a commodity. Strike is a technology. Nvidia is a technology. These things are regulated by the SEC. These things have cash flows. These things have founders, directors, people that set the roadmap. And so when I say a piece of crap, maybe I'm being a bit aggressive, but I think it's distinctly different from Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin can be the world reserve asset, the one money that we use to store our time and energy. And I think Ethereum can be a technology which competes with Nvidia. But then it gets confusing. It's like, well, what's their cash flows? Who founded it? Who sets the direction? Why does it change so much? And when it does change, why does it change? I think that there's a lot of intentional confusion going on in the story. And as a Bitcoiner, it frustrates me because I'm trying to fix the money, fix the world. And so
in Solana news, Solana dev hospitalized with third-degree burns trying to pump meme coin. The Solana meme coin dev had fireworks shot at him while doused in alcohol on livestream as an attempt to pump his token. The token is called Truth or Dare. And do not try this at home. I cannot share with you this video. It's too graphic for this channel, for YouTube. But the last half of the 30-minute live stream is hard to watch. The dev screams out in pain, claims he can't feel his hands, and tells the others that he needs to go to the hospital. It burns, bro. My body burns. In crypto gaming news, Star Hero Season 1 airdrop campaign is now live, meaning the game is now live. This is the #1 esports space shooter with over 400,000 pre-registered players, meaning over 400,000 potentially playing this game. Now, probably all that signed up won't actually play, but if you want to earn some token, earn some money, join the fight and earn your cut of the $5 million prize pool in our Play to Airdrop campaign, up to $200,000 for the winner. The top 2,000 players on the leaderboard are eligible, and it's for the next 8 weeks. That's Star Heroes. And in artificial intelligence news, AI-focused tokens edge higher ahead of Nvidia earnings results. AI Protocol AIT, made a big announcement, calling all AIT stakers, I am a staker, listen up, in preparation for Nvidia's quarterly earnings report, we will be conducting an airdrop of our investment in Sharp Labs to AIT stakers, meaning every eligible staker, those staking in the 56-day pool, will be getting an airdrop of some Sharp Labs token. Here was that exact tweet from the COO. In preparation for a key milestone at AIT Protocol, the team at AIT Venture Funds has decided to allocate and distribute our investment in Sharp Labs, a notable AI project with thousands of users, to the AIT community. Meanwhile, a buyback burn of approximately 319,000 AIT tokens worth over $130,000 has been complete. And again, speaking of AI, speaking of AIT, the final 7 days left to be part of our stake drop campaigns. This is for Leica AI. I am an investor in this token, just for the folks at home. Leica is the first Web3 AI super app backed by Google startups. And the news today, join our stake drop campaigns and claim your share of over 30 million LKI tokens valued at around $210,000 with fully diluted value of $7 million at launch. And again, they're collabing with AIT. We dedicated 3% of our supply to holders of these pioneering AI projects, AIT Protocol, Zignali, Octavia, and more. I do know we have a lot of AIT stakers in this audience, so I did just want to make you aware. Also, Paid Network and Commonwealth are making big news. I'm advisors to both projects. And Paid, as many of you know, connecting highly vetted ideas and projects with passionate communities in order to crowdfund their visions to life. It's essentially like a launch pad. And the news today, attention Paid community, it's time to make your move. We are delighted to announce that the highly anticipated Commonwealth early pool is now open on Ignition. That's Paid Ignition. This is your exclusive opportunity to get in on the ground floor of a Web3 investing revolution, meaning the project is launching off Paid. Who's eligible? Those who staked at least 75,000 paid tokens before the snapshot. This is your chance to secure your allocation before the rush. I have an Altcoin Daily affiliate link down below for those of you that qualify, live outside the US, want to take advantage. And early pool perks are guaranteed allocation, secure your wealth, that's Commonwealth tokens before the rush. And again, what is Commonwealth? Well, it's early stage VC access for the 99%, fully decentralized, fully on-chain, the way it was meant to be. So it does have an all-star team. The early pool is live now, just for the next 36 hours-ish. And this is an ongoing story, so click subscribe for one video per day, keeping you informed about crypto. See you tomorrow.